Hello my drillers, it's a Big Donny Cow here for a brand new video, and today we're doing something a little bit different and discussing a bit of World of Warcraft lore and sort of putting a theory out there, yeah, doing a bit of theory crafting. Yeah, I don't know, theory crafting's a number stuff in it. Yeah, I don't do that. I'm just guessing some stuff. Before I get into it though, I do want to add that this video has absolutely no spoilers of upcoming content. We're going to be looking at the new cinematic, which has been released and is publicly available on YouTube at the moment. The Supremacy cinematic. And then we are going to be discussing information based off of what is already in the game and pre-established lore within the game. So, without further ado, before we get into watching the video, and then after I've done watched the video and re-reacted, I guess, we'll get into why I have come to the conclusion I have. My conclusion: I think Xal'atath is an Aldrachi. This is my guess. If you see why I'm making this claim in a minute. Let's just get right into it.
King, Xal'atath is supreme. Join us, or be consumed. My ethereals will never be bound again. Xal'atath be damned!
Got him.
Retreat! Run now!
Let this pointless resistance be done.
Xal'atath.
For eons.
I love it how she's just messing around as she enters.
Slaves. Fed scraps. But I offer you a freedom beyond imagining.
Empty promises. What do you know of our suffering?
They say that I am the harbinger of the void. That I am the blade of the Black Empire that was. There have been many tales told about me. But I'll tell you the truth no one living has heard.
Okay, go down.
Once, long, long ago, I was mortal, like you. I lost my world, just like you. I drowned in hatred and vengeance, just like you.
Keep that in mind, hatred and vengeance.
But the one thing I've learned
It's a subtle nod.
over
Turning to dust.
eternity is that survival is all that matters. What I'm about to do ensures survival for all our kind.
Our kind.
You are one of us. You are void now. You may flee, but only I offer a true path forward. Survival and more is at my side. And you can lead them all. The choice is yours.
GG. Okay, so dope cinematic. Loved it. But let's get into a little bit of lore here, yeah? We're gonna look in the Legion Order Hall, yeah? This is where we're gonna start off talking about why I think this is something to do with, well, why I think Xal'atath is an Aldrachi. Sorry, my thoughts have just been scrambled, but here we go. So, the Ancient Aldrachi book, the book on the Aldrachi Warblade, sorry, sort of goes into detail of when Sargeras first invaded the Aldrachi lands. Now, it doesn't say anything of a timeline, really, aside from the fact that we know it's ancient. We know that these Warblades, as stated here, over thousands of years, the demons sought out the Legion's greatest warriors. Kil'jaeden and Deceive and distribute the Warblades of the Aldrachi over thousands of years. Yeah, you got the idea. So we know there's at least been Kil'jaeden's been distributing Warblades for thousands of years. Now, in one of the more recent cinematics, Xal'atath has alluded to the fact that she's been waiting for over 100,000 years. So, by all means, we know that this has to have happened a very long time ago. Now, nothing in this book states that, you know, this happened while Kil'jaeden was a lieutenant of Sargeras. We know these Warblades were distributed then. It's probably a safe assumption to assume that the Aldrachi War happened around then. But chances are, there's still the option for it to have been even older. It still could have been before Kil'jaeden was even in the Burning Legion, which I believe it was either 13,000 years before our time, 20,000 years before our time, or 33,000 years before our time. There's different answers and none which are overly clear. But either way, it doesn't specifically say that the invasion of Aldrachi's homeworld was when Kil'jaeden was in the Legion. It just says that Kil'jaeden was the one distributing these Warblades over thousands of years. So, the invasion could have happened at any point in time. It's not really clear. I couldn't find a straight answer on when Sargeras himself actually formed the Burning Legion. I'm gonna be honest, perhaps my entire theory could be shut down based on the timings of when the Black Empire faded and the timings of when the Legion started. If there is clear information on that I have missed, then that would be a very quick, yeah, no, Cal, you're wrong. But, here we go. Remember I said, listen to hatred and vengeance. There was a fight between Sargeras, where he sent an avatar to fight the Aldrachi. And you can see in page 8 that basically Sargeras was trying to wear down the strongest warrior of the Aldrachi, who was considered the leader, Toronar. Now, they were fighting. Sargeras was winning easily, and he was slowly breaking him so that he would convert. And then Toronar lands a blow on Sargeras, and then boom, he's annoyed, and he just decides, so, goes as this. I'm going to read out all of part 9. Toronar's defiance infuriated Sargeras. In an instant, he rips the warrior and his fellow Aldrachi champions to pieces. So great was Sargeras' wrath that nothing was left of their bodies but dust. The Legion's ruler then commanded his armies to bathe the Aldrachi world in an inferno that would smolder for eternity. So as we see, Shadow Flame is clearly raining down. If I go back to the cutscene briefly. Shadowfire. Now, you say what you want. Sargeras was a being red, fire, and the Legion mainly used green fire. But then you have demon hunters who, if I just, you know, quickly head up. See, you can see there, the Void, of course, has been involved with the Burning Legion. But also, even demon hunters, the souls that they drop are purple. Remember that. And yet, you know, if you see the souls, like the color of souls which are extracted by, let's say, a warlock, it's blue. Through Drained Soul. Yes, you could now completely counter me by saying that soul shards are purple. But then I could also counter that by saying that warlocks do use void magic, so perhaps there's a link there. But anyway, I do get the feeling that maybe this loose link, very loose link, is what brings it all together. Now, one more thing to add to this is we look at Aldrachi Reaver. Very purple artwork, and it's all about the souls, and of course, that's what the Aldrachi did. Their warblades were made to consume souls, and that got the blades far more powerful than ever before. It's their lore, it's in that very same book. If you want to give it all a read, definitely do. It's some cool lore. But, you know, I feel like there's it feels like there's links. I'm not smart enough to really explain it properly. Yeah? Which is why I don't normally do these types of videos. I'm not that guy. I'm dented. But on the off chance that, like, this all comes together, I just wanted to make this video in case. But I do genuinely think that that Xal'atath is an Aldrachi. I've got one more thing I also want to show, and that is that, like, the gold of her eyes and the gold of the Aldrachi warblades in its default form, albeit this is a compressed image, they look very similar to me. I would argue the same. This is like the key Aldrachi weapon. It is like the only visual thing we have of the Aldrachis in the game to exist. And she just so happens to, you know, her eyes seem to be a very similar colour. Her eyelids as well are quite purple. As I mentioned, the Aldrachi are known for consuming souls. And as we do it as demon hunters in current WoW, those souls are seen as purple. Maybe it's because of void involvement. Maybe that's just how the souls naturally are. Either way, I see a link between soul consumption of a demon hunter and Xal'atath here. Maybe I'm completely far-fetched. Maybe I'm just, like, working on the loosest ends possible. Or maybe I've just made a prediction based off of little information. And if I'm right, I'm gonna be so gassed about this. I'm probably wrong. There is one more point I'm gonna add. Is that technically, at the moment, yeah, you all think that The Last Titan is about Azeroth. That's what people are saying. Now, just hear me out a little bit. There is one Titan at the moment who is potentially still alive, fighting at the seat of the Pantheon right now. And that is Sargeras. Of course, all the other Titans are dead. Their souls are at the seat of the Pantheon, but the Titans themselves, they've all been killed. By Sargeras, by the way. Of course, Illidan's there as well. But I do think that the last Titan might not actually be about Azeroth. Yes, the art is very Titan-like and does not look like Sargeras at all. But then, you know, if we're talking about Titans, it's very fair to use the standard Titan art. And that does technically still apply for Sargeras. He is a Titan. Before corruption, that would have very much been, like, his aesthetics as well. However, you know, Blizzard wanted to hide it and still link it. Then the art they've used still works very well. Maybe these are ramblings of a madman, but you've just sat through my 16 minutes of not really well organized thoughts, but it's a theory I've got and it's a theory I wanted to put out. Thank you for listening to me. I'd be interested to hear what you guys think. And yeah, as per usual, I hope you have a wonderful day. And see you on either the live, maybe chat in Discord, or on the next video. Sweet one. Have a good one. Have a good one. Wait, where's my mouse? Oh, it's on the wrong monitor. I did warn you I'm dented.